Hello, 7th graders. Hopefully this video finds you guys doing well. Welcome to week 2 of remote learning. In this weekly video here, I am going to talk about a couple of the changes that I'm making for this week to how I'm grading your assignments, as well as some options that you have in terms of not only what you choose to do, but then how you actually create a final product. And so I'm going to go through all of that here a little bit in this video. So make sure that you listen closely to the video here as we go through and we talk about some of the changes this week. Let's start by saying that this week is a little bit different because there are religious holidays this week. So let's start with the fact that technically it is only a 4-day school week. If we were actually at school this week, we would not be there on Friday, as it is the Christian holiday of Good Friday leading into Easter this weekend. So we would not have been at school, and so I did not assign work for that Friday. So instead of doing 5 20-minute lessons for the week, I came up with work that constitutes about 4. So there's nothing for that Friday. Passover, for those that celebrate, those that observe that holiday, the Jewish faith is also this week, and so those of you that may be limited in terms of computer access and using electronics and things due to the observance of that holiday, just make sure you're planning accordingly. I'm going to go through and talk about how I kind of broke down and chunked the assignments this week, but I'm assuming that that's working through 4 days through Thursday, and so if that holiday impacts you at all, make sure that you're just kind of recognizing that. As always, work is due towards not until the next Monday, which will be the 13th. I give a very strong endorsement, though, for you guys working on the work during the school day, during the week. Because if you need help or have a question for your teachers are online a ton during the school days of the week. We are not on as much when it comes to the evening hours and then on the weekends. And so if you put stuff off and then you have questions, it's going to be even a shorter window for you to get stuff done because you might be waiting for a response from a teacher. So please take the advice of your teachers of how they've chunked this stuff for you and go through what you're supposed to each day. And it'll just make everything easier for you in terms of getting stuff done, not feeling overwhelmed, not being stressed, as well as the ability to be able to get help and to get it quickly from your teachers. All right, so let's take a look at Google Classroom and see some of the things that I have on there for you to use this week to navigate through what it is that you have to get done, how I'm grading, and how you're going to figure out what your grades are. So over on Google Classroom, I know this looks a little bit different because these things are just drafts right now. I have not actually posted any of this. As I record this video, they will be up by 9 a.m. on Monday morning. The first thing on there is what we're looking at right now. It's the introduction to remote learning week 2. The video will be posted on here when I'm done with it, as well as the doc that shows the chunking and how I'm breaking down the week, as well as the rubric of how things are going to be scored. All right, so let's take a look real quick here at the doc for the remote learning. Another link to the video that you're currently watching. Okay, and then as we go through, notice that there are 4 things that are going to be graded this week, with a requirement of the first 3 being done, and then optional 4th piece. And I'm going to explain that here in a moment. Okay, here's the chunking. You're going to notice it's not nearly as much work as last week, again, because it's 4-day lessons. And with some of the holidays coming up too, I just wanted to kind of lessen the load this week. So that's why it's looking a little bit less. Everything here is chunked for you. Specific directions aren't quite here. There's some directions here, but the specific directions will be on the actual Google post as we go through the week. Last week I posted Monday, Tuesday as one post, what you should be working on, then on Wednesday, Thursday as a second post, and Friday. Since there's no school this week on Friday, I posted it as a Monday post because there's more stuff on Monday than any of the other days, then a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a Thursday. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that actually here too. Okay, so there's the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday post. Okay. And like I said, as you go through these, the directions are here as well as the order that I want you to complete them. Please read these directions, okay? I'm trying to give you as much information as I can, and that'll help you and limit the number of times that you might have to email me with questions about what you're supposed to be doing. It's one thing if you have a question and that you don't understand something in the work. That's one thing. But in terms of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, it should all be explained here. And so in the directions, as you look at each of the posts for the following days of the week, okay? Okay. The last thing I want to talk about then is what I was referring to before, and that was this remote learning. This digital product of lunar phases, which is optional, and that'll lead into the rubric and how we're grading. So back on the very first post for the week, the remote learning week number 2, it has the criteria for the rubric here as well. So why don't we take a look at this rubric so that it's pretty clear for us to understand what it is that we have to do. Okay. The biggest change for this week is that there are 3 assignments that are completion grades. You have to take a pre-assessment on lunar phases, eclipses, and tides, as that's the new unit that we're starting. Completion grade for you to go through the video of my class notes as I go through my Google slide presentation, and for you to complete the doc for the class notes. So just completion of that. That's also 10 points. And then towards the end of the week, there is a study island assignment for lunar phases where there will be 10 questions on the assignment, and it's a completion graded. But for you to complete the assignment, like it says here in the rubric, you need to score 80% or higher on that assignment. So if you score 80% or higher, then you earn all 10 points. If you are less than 80%, then whatever score you get, up to 8 points, or probably 7.5 is what it would be, honestly, that's what will go into your score for your scorebook, okay, or into Infinite Campus. You can do it as many times as you need to. I encourage you to use our notes, the lesson that they have for you. It's like their online book. Keep that stuff open so that you can help yourself do really well on the test, and so you don't have to do it a bunch of times, and hopefully you can get it in just one time. So those 3 are required, okay? But notice, if you do all of those, then you get 30 points. The total for the week, though, is 37.5. So if you figure out what your score would be if you earned 30 out of 37.5 points, that would be 80%, a B. A low B, but a B. And that is the requirement. So if you do that this week, okay, you do those 3 things, you get 30 out of 37.5, you get an 80% in Infinite Campus. That's how I will mark it in Infinite Campus. I'm only putting it in as 1 grade this week, okay? And mostly because of it being a shorter week. And so it'll go in as week 2 remote learning, and you would have 30 out of 37.5 points, which would be 80%. Nothing would be marked late. Nothing would be marked missing. If you wanted to do better than 80%, though, that's where this 4th assignment comes in, and this is what you would be working on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then maybe even into Thursday or whatever other time you might need. Now, I know it seems small out of only 7.5 points, but every point that you get above those 30 points raises your grade closer to an A for the week. All right, so again, I know it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but by doing this other product, it gives you a chance to go from an 80% to all the way up to 100%. All right, now, the explanation of what it is for this digital product is going to be in another video that you will see posted on Tuesday, because this is the first time we're going to use this digital product in our remote learning activities, but it is something that will continue on in other weeks. And so I want to make sure that I give enough direction in that video so you understand what it is that we're doing. All right, so here's the rubric again, and this is what will be returned back to you the following week. So it'll be returned back to you by the 20th of April to telling you how you scored on this week. Everything is due, of course, by Monday the 13th, Monday the 13th. And again, the only 3 things you have to do are the 3 completion grades, and that gets you 30 out of 37.5. But if you want to go for the A, then you have to do the digital product, which can earn you up to 7.5 points. So in summary, I know that it might seem a little bit confusing. So of course, email me if you have any questions. But this week is about completion of work, not necessarily accuracy of work. That doesn't mean to not do your best job, okay? But it means that as you're going through, I'm scoring you on completion more so than accuracy. You have those 3 assignments that are required to do, and then that digital product, which gives you the chance to go from a B to an A if you choose to do it, but you don't have to do it. Just know that if you don't do it, the highest score that you can get is an 80%. Okay? So make sure that you're using Google Classroom, reading the directions, watching any videos that I have posted for you to help you as you go through to do the work. And of course, my office hours are Monday through Thursday, not Friday this week, Monday through Thursday from 1 to 2 if you need to get on for any more questions. And hopefully I'll see some of you that I haven't seen yet just to see how you're doing and to know what's been going on at your house over the last couple weeks. Things have been pretty much the same almost every single day here. Not much changes, but I'm going to count that as being fortunate because everyone is healthy and we're doing just fine here. So hopefully the same is at your house. Okay, take care.